In this video, we will be learning how to create assessment grids in Edulink 1. The Assessment tab in the Administration settings allows administrators to create assessment grids. These are visible in the assessment icon on Edulink 1's user interface. The Assessment tab pulls all the relevant data aspects, templates, and result sets from your MIS. Log in to Edulink 1, go to the Administration settings, and click on the Assessment tab. A list of all past assessments will appear, otherwise the table will be blank. You will see the name of the grid and the Show When field, which outlines whether it is a grid, subgrid, or both. The Positioning column indicates the priority of the data displayed on the grid when parents, learners, and employees are viewing the assessment icon. The arrows can be used to change the position of the data. In the Action column, you can edit the grid, clone it, and delete it. To create a new grid, click on the Create New Grid button. You can also import from Moodle to copy over your grids if Overnet Data supplies you with this. Provide a name for your grid. Then select the applicable year group. Next, in the Show When column, select the type of grid you want to create. You can choose from a single grid, a subgrid, or enable both. Grids are often used for the subject data, and subgrids are used for other types of data, such as effort grades. If you select both, you will have access to a grid and subgrid for the same assessment. At this point, you can select a global template if you want. This helps narrow down the assessment area from the MIS to those most relevant. Select a template from the drop-down list, or you can type in keywords to narrow down your search. Templates are unique to every school, so it is advisable to involve your data manager in deciding the appropriate one to use. If you wish, you can then select a global result set. This allows you to select the data set to be applied to a year group. This can be left blank and configured in the assessment grid itself, but it can save time using this feature. The Show Subject As field allows you to select from the following options: Subject Only, the Subject and Group, the Subject and Teacher, and the Subject, Group and Teacher. Turning on the Hide Empty Rows field hides data that is not relevant for a learner. Every student has different subjects, so Hide Empty Rows will filter out any subjects the learner is not taking. We recommend that you leave Publish off until you are ready to publish your reports. Alternatively, you can hide assessment data from certain groups in the General tab. Visit our Knowledge Hub for more information. Use the grid table and the filters to help create your assessment grid. The default template for the assessment grid is 2 rows and 2 columns. The first column relates to the subject. The second column relates to the data you want to input. You can add rows and columns by using the buttons at the top of the grid, or by adding rows and columns within the table itself, using the Add Row and Add Column buttons. The default label for the subject column is Subject. You can change this if you want. This column is static and will not move. If you have used the Global Template filter, leave the row template as Use Global. This will pick up the global template and apply it to the column. However, if you have left your global template blank, you can configure the row template here. To do this, select a template from the drop-down list and click on it. Next, select the subject you want in Row Subject using the drop-down list, or type the subject name. Next, modify your assessment column. You can use the arrow keys to move the column left or right, the bin icon to delete a column, and the hide icon to hide a dataset until you are ready to publish. Create a label for your column. If you are using a template, simply choose Use Row to ensure you are using the global template. Otherwise, select the template from the drop-down menu. Select the data aspect you would like to be displayed in the column. Click the relevant aspect to apply it. Next, choose the results set if required. If you have not already selected a global results set, you can choose one in the row and apply it. At this point, you can add more columns for other aspects or for the entire year. You can also add more subject rows for all of your school's subjects. Complete the rows for each subject as above. To preview your grid, click the Preview button. Type in part of your learner's name to view if your grid is correct. Save your grid at any stage to come back and edit it later using the pen icon. Log out to return to your home page. Thanks for watching. For more on assessment grids, including Part 2, visit our Knowledge Hub at support.overnetdata.com.